Okay, starting off where we left off before my belt shit the bed for the lathe while I was making or tapering the oak pegs. Day off today, so I had more time, more energy. Braces I was cutting on one of the other videos, I have since applied an end seal to them, try and help prevent some of the cracking. See, anytime you cut and expose the end grain, you should seal it up within 24 hours or so. Mine may have been a little bit longer, but it is what it is. That's what I'm using. It goes on pretty well. Doesn't stink anything like that. I'm trying to keep it just on the faces and not out on the main part of it. But I brought out a bunch of tools today. I got to use the chain mortiser, the wife's leaf blower, to blow all the wood chips and whatnot out of the mortises that I created. Both the timber slick and the framing chisel, the router, skill saw, hand saw, all the squares, regular hammers, mallets, you name it. They're all used today. So the last time you saw this post, it just had the one mortise in it. It's an 8x8, and I had mortised for one of the braces. This brace here, which fit. This is a brace for the main carrying beam, which is going to be an 8x10 by plus or minus 16 feet. I've since housed for the tie beam, which is going to be another 8x10. This one approximately 12 feet long. So there'll be another post just like this, kind of in reverse. What you're looking at right now with that housing for it. There'll be a second one, with the exception that the brace that you're seeing there is going to come over here and kick off this way. And then those two will be joined together to create what's called a bent, or a wall if you would. So it'll be a post either side with that main 8x10 by plus or minus 12, linking the two of them together. That'll be the short end. But I was able to fit another brace, one for the tie beam, which the beam will come across, and this will lay into the bottom of it and do its thing. I housed them. When I'm saying housing, already mortised, which is down there, the deep part, which is accepting the tenon, the part that's slipping into it. The housing is that portion back there, the 1/2 inch that goes around and fits completely around your whole brace. I'm going to show you what we did when we made the braces, if it comes apart for me. As you recall, if you watched the brace video, we laid them out 3/8 of an inch off of the reference face, that direction. And what it did was create a 1/2 inch line, which would leave you with this 1/2 inch section on the bottom of your brace, which, once it's been housed, you can see why we did that 1/2 inch at the bottom of the brace. It now fits in well here. This carries weight as well as the bottom of the tenon, and then the whole thing will get pegged together afterwards once everything's been dry fit and whatnot. We have pegged it, goes completely through everything. The actual tenon right here will not be drilled at the same time as the beam is. So I'll drill a hole straight through all the way. Then I'll place my brace inside and I'll take the drill bit and I'll just bring it through and just make a little dimple on the side of my tenon. And then I'll offset the hole that I drill in the brace itself. They call it draw boring. And what it does is because they're offset, the peg wants to squeeze its way through, and in doing so it kind of pulls the joint tighter, providing you put the hole in the right location. If you go the wrong way with it, you're just going to want to push the joint apart, so you have to do it so you're pulling the joint together. That's where we're at. Another day off tomorrow, weather permitting. I wouldn't mind doing a duplicate of this one and then maybe cutting one of those big dogs and actually get a bent stood up in the backyard. They're not cut to length yet. That tenon right there is not square and it's not cut to its proper length. All the weight on that one is coming straight down. Didn't have to be massive. The tenon for the tie beam, however, is fairly deep. I think I went 7 inches with it to make sure that there's enough meat behind the pins once I put them in that it doesn't want to come out, especially for your tie beams, which are holding the structure together side to side, resisting that pressure of the roof wanting to push it out all the time. So those are pretty deep. The actual joints for the braces were probably 5 inches. Maybe overkill, but it is what it is. Once I've got them all cut, I decide what I'm using for brackets to hold them to the concrete. Then I will put a final length with the posts. But I can go ahead and make everything that's happening on the top ahead of time, and then just do a flush cut on the bottom of the post afterwards once I've established level. I'm banging my head on the canopy here, but that's where we are today. Be back at it tomorrow. I'll send another one with more progress. Have a good day.